Yes people, how are we doing? I hope you're all well. Hope you're all well out there. Hope you're enjoying life, and most importantly, I hope you're enjoying your bikes. Today's video is going to be about how to build an e-bike. Let's get on with it. So you order your kit turns up, all right? You're going to have a hub motor, whether it's going to be on the back, whether you go for a front hub motor, or if you go for a mid-drive motor. They're all the same, they're all motors, all right? Today we're talking about a rear hub motor though, which is what a lot of you are buying at the moment. So, you get your rear hub motor, you will get your controller, you will get your display, you will get your throttle, and you will get your on and off switch as well. That will all come into the kit. Now, what I would recommend you do is lay it all out on the floor. Before you even start thinking about putting it on the bike, forget the bike. Forget the bike for the moment. Put it all out on the floor and connect it all up together on the floor first to make sure it works. Now, with the hub motor, you're going to have a wire that comes off of it, and it's going to have 3 different coloured wires and a little box connection connected to it. And that is what connects up to your controller. Now, on your controller, you're either going to have the 3 same coloured wires coming off of the controller, or for this one, it's the screws that you screw the wires into. But they are still marked up, so you all do it colour coordinate. I think it's blue, yellow, yellow and green. So you put the blue to the blue, the yellow to the yellow, and the green to the green. All right? And then if you look on your controller, you're going to have loads of different connectors on there. But have you heard the expression, you can't put a circle into a square? That's basically what it is. It's really easy. So you'll have a look at the connector that's fixed to the wires to this hub motor, and then you look at your controller and you'll find that the male to female connection will only go into that one. So you connect it up. Now you've got your hub motor connected to your controller. So now you want to do is you want to get your display, which again, the displays normally come in a sort of flattish square type connector. You look on your controller and you find that controller, that fitting, and connect it up. Again, with your on and off switch, it will only go into one of them connectors. Again, with your throttle, it will only go into one of them connectors. So you have now connected your hub motor up with the 3 coloured wires matching the 3 coloured wires, and that's your phase wire. And now you've connected up the box male connection to the female connection on the controller. That's your hub motor connected. You've now found the connector on your controller which connects your on and off switch. That's connected. Again, with the display and the throttle, it's all connected up. And then the last thing you've got to connect up would be your battery, which is a yellow XT60 lead, which comes off of the tray, which will have connected onto there. Again, it's a male-female connector. You push it in, then your whole kit is set up. Now, the reason I say do this on the floor first, because if you start putting it on the bike and try and do it, you're going to get frustrated and flustered. So I wouldn't recommend that you do this thing, after work. If you've been at work for 8-10 hours, don't do it after work, because it is going to take you a couple of hours to do. You'll end up skipping dinner, you'll end up going to bed late, and when you do go to bed, your brain will be constantly thinking about it as well. So you won't get no sleep that night anyway, all right? I recommend you do this sort of thing over the weekend, a Saturday or a Sunday. So you've got plenty of time, put it in your diary, right, Saturday afternoon, I'm putting my bike together. So, you know, put do not disturb on your phone. You know, just do what you need to do, because you need to sort of not so much concentrate, but you do need to concentrate as well, if that makes sense. So you've now got it all connected up onto the floor. You switch your battery on, you switch your on button on, and then you'll see your display come up. And you think, yes, it's alive. The kit's alive. Brilliant. Right? Now, what I would suggest as well, put it into level assist 1. Only a level assist 1. All right? And then, very gently, and I'm talking a couple of millimeters. That's all. I don't want you to grab your throttle and twist it full, because all that's going to happen is your wheel's going to spin out on the floor, you're going to pull wires out, and you're going to break it. All right? The reason I'm saying doing this, it's like a test run, if you like. So you just slowly, couple of millimeter, move your throttle, and you should see your wheel jerk or move, because I want you to go on off, like so. Jerk on, and then you'll see it jerk, slightly move, and then you know that you've connected it all up properly. Now, the second phase is you need a bike to put it on. Okay, very, very simple. So if you've got this sort of bike as well, you are going to have to, you know, if it's already got a kit on it, take the whole kit off. This is why I say give yourself a weekend or a Saturday or a Sunday, because, you know, if you're taking an old kit off the bike and you're putting a new kit on the bike, you are not going to do that in a couple of hours. You're not going to do it. You know, if you've got a blank bike, yes, you can put the kit on within a couple of hours. But if you've got to take the old kit off first and then put it on, I don't want you to rush it. All right, so don't rush it. You're going to sacrifice one day to put your bike together, and then you've got your bike for the rest of your life. So what's one day? You know, one day's not a lot. And then the next weekend, you know, you can go out on your bike and it's good to go. All right. So then you've got to put your bike, the kit, onto the bike. So you know it's all working because you've connected it all up. And they are male to female push-in connectors. Okay. So then what you do is you switch your display off, you switch your battery off, and you take it apart. All right. And then you start putting the elements onto the bike. For me, I find it a lot easier to turn the bike upside down to put the wheel in, obviously. Now, when you do put the wheel into the bike, you want to make sure that it's equal in the frame. If you put your wheel in the bike and you look and you notice that the wheel is pushed over to one side, you need to realign that up. So you might have to get some spacers to put in one side just to make sure that when you look down that frame, it's dead center of the frame and not over to one side or the other. All right, so that's most important. So then you get your Loctite, which I say all the time. Get your Loctite or lock seal, put it on the axles, do the nut up, and then you're good to go. And then you've got a wire, like thread the wire somehow, however you're going to do it, around the frame up to your controller. Yeah. Now, when you do this, cable tie or zip tie that wire to the frame. A lot of these bikes now do have little built-in sections that you can put the cable or zip tie into to connect it up. Never ever let the wire just flap about, because then, you know, you're going to catch it, you're going to pull it all out, you're going to break everything. So you cable tie or zip tie the wire to the frame. Then you've got to find out where you're putting your controller. Obviously, if it's the B6, this is the only place really, unless you go for a different kit, which has got a smaller controller, you might be able to put it under the seat. But again, I don't know what kits you're using or how big the controllers are. Okay, so if you've bought the kit that I'm using, this is the only place for it. All right, then depending on what battery you're using, you might have to swap the battery tray out. Again, I've done videos about this. It's very easy. You take this apart here, 3 screws. You feed the wires through. You disconnect or unconnect. You put your new battery on. You feed your wires through. And then you connect it all back up again. Again, when you're putting your throttle on, your display and stuff like that, for me, cable management is a big part of the bikes. Personally, I don't like to see a load of wires all over the place, so I'll get myself some cable wrap. And once you put it all on, as you can see, you know, if I can come around this way, show you. As you can see, I've got the cable wrap that goes around all the wires that keeps them all together, and it just looks a lot smarter, I think, anyway. Yeah, so basically, that's the video, people. A very short and sweet one. But, and also on the controller, a lot of the controllers now do have little labels on the wires that say throttle, display, pedal assist, whatever it is that you're connected up. All right, so as I say, take your time, do it on a Saturday or a Sunday or a weekend or your day off or something like that. Take your time, do the kit on the floor first, make sure it all works, disconnect it all, pull it onto the bike, make sure everything's secure, and then you should have yourself an e-bike. Okay, make sure all the bolts are tightened up nice. You know, if you're putting different stuff on it, don't over tight, because it's sort of Allen keys you'll need to put like this on, to put the display on, to put the throttle on. You know, don't over tighten it so they constantly spin and you break it. Do it up nice and tight. Couple of turns, nice and tight, and you are good to go. So I think, people, because that's how I did it, that's how I started off, putting the kit together on the floor first. Yeah, switching it on, make sure that it comes alive. Then once it comes alive and you know you've wired it up all properly, then transfer it to the bike. But just as I keep saying, take your time and don't rush it, people. All right, don't rush it. Just take your time and put it together. As I say, a lot of them come with little labels now that will say, you know, this is for the throttle, this is for the display, this is this, that, and the other. The wires are different colours, so as long as the colours all match up, you'll be good as gold. And with all the controllers now, all the fittings are different sizes. Yeah, so you might have a big square, a little square, a rectangle, something a bit chunkier rectangle, a flatter rectangle. So if you heard the expression, you can't put a circle into a square. Have you heard that expression? Well, that's very, very good example of this. You know, if you've got your throttle, for example, and you look at the end of that connection, you're only going to have one other connection on that controller that it will fit into. It's not like you're going to have 5 or 6 connections that you've got to try them out. So take your time, make sure it's the right male to female that slots in, and then you're good to go, people. I think that's the video, people. It's a very short and sweet one. For me to take the bike apart and put it on the floor and show you that, and then put it onto the bike, it would be a very, because I don't do no editing, as you know, people. You know, it's raw, start to finish. So, you know, for me to do that, it would be a very long video, a couple of hour video. It would be boring for me to make. It would be boring for you to watch as well. Okay? So, the advice that I would give, I've said it already, set your kit up on the floor first. Forget the bike. Set the kit up, plug everything in, make sure it all works, and then concentrate on fitting it to the bike. That's the only sort of advice that I can give you, people. Yeah? Basically, that's the video, people. Very short and sweet. I hope you found it maybe informational. As I say, you know, for me to do a start to finish, it would just take too long. You'd lose interest in it, and I'd lose interest in explaining and making the video as well. So set your kit up on the floor, make sure it's all connected up. Look at the wires, throttle wire, throttle wire, throttle wire, throttle wire goes in there. Display wire goes in there. You know, on and off switch goes in there. Your 3 different colour phase wires from the motor to the controller. Blue, blue, green, green, yellow, yellow, whatever it is, goes together. You'll have another big chunky sort of squarish connector from the motor. You'll also have the male to female connector on the display. That will only go in one of the connectors anyway. Push that in. And then basically, yeah, you've got yourself an e-bike, people. And really, it is as simple as that. A lot of people try to make out that it's really hard to do. Once you do your first build, it does come easier. But it's like anything in life, you have to take that first step first, no matter what. It's coming out your comfort zone. I know a few people have asked me, you know, to do a video about how to put in the bike together. But like I said, for me to do a long one, you know, it wouldn't work for me, it wouldn't work for you. So set the kit up on the floor first, make sure it works. Take the old kit off the bike, obviously. Put your new kit on the bike, and then you've got yourself a nice e-bike, people. I'm sorry if this isn't the video you was expecting, but hopefully my explanation of how to do it has helped you out. It is easy to an extent, but don't rush it. Take your time, and then you're going to have a really good bike at the end of it. All right? So that's the video, people. I hope you found it informational, and I want to say a big shout out to all my followers. I've got some new subscribers. Thank you very much indeed for hitting that subscribe button. I hope you're enjoying the content so far. Shout out to everybody, and yeah. Oh, and yeah, just a big shout out to everyone, really. People, that's the video. I will see you in the next one. Peace!